basic idea of YASASSII, the orientation of the application, sort of you've used it a little bit, or no, this is just brand new for you guys?
I have an idea about Hisashi. I'm using it daily on daily basis.
Ah, okay, that's great. That's great. Perfect. So we have some people who are okay, so that can help out the other people also. Just wanted to understand the gravity. So okay. Anyways, yeah, I'll give a quick idea about the whole thing. So I just logged into the SRC application. I put my username and password. Based on your privileges, you have access to certain modules and certain functionalities of the application, and even data. So there is a possibility that you have privileges to see chemistry samples in a lab module, but you won't be able to see microbiology this thing. So it can go up till that point that you can master data is missing, or functionalities are missing, or even modules are missing. On your right hand side, you will have this cascading window. If you click on the green line, it expands and it gives you all the different modules that are there within the application. The application has a module for the patient access, where we will be doing most of our today's session. And there's something called the masters, where certain rules are used to set up. So that is also useful that we can utilize. I might also dig into the accounting module to show you how the shift collection thing is done, because there is a collection part that we will also talk about, where money is dealt with, and I want to sort of show the other side of it also. So there are three modules that we're going to be jumping around, apart from the fourth module, that is a reporting module, where we will go and see all the reports that are possibly available in the system. Now I'm going to click on the patient management. As soon as I do that, I will first land onto my the default page, that is the registration page. So every reception of yours that you see in Mohammed Al Faqih using YASASSII is going to be having this registration page of theirs. The screen is again divided into three sections. Like I told you, on the right hand side, there's always this cascading window that expands and shows you the different modules that are there within this thing. The departments are for the sake of taking appointments. So if you're taking appointments by the sake of by via departments or by specialties, you can do that. Resources is for places where, for example, physiotherapy and other things are done. You will find appointments for those areas, also rooms per se. So laser room, like you can see, fluoroscopy room, endoscopy room. You will find appointments for that over here under resources. We'll see that part also, but not that it is important for us to see how that appointment is done, but we'll still see a cycle either ways. Uh, Again, there are sub menu under the each module that we are in. So for example, right now you are in the patient management part, patient management suite, and within that you will find there are some front office menu. You'll find some ADT menu, and then you'll find inventory management information. Most importantly, this is the area where you'll be playing around in most of the areas. Like I said, you're by default on the new registration screen. That is the middle part that you can see right now. And on your left hand side, there is a search area where you can sort of search for the patient's information. You can either search for the whole database of the patient, or you can see the people who are currently in your outpatient, currently in your emergency, currently in your inpatient, or if you want to do an outside registration for a quick appointment. Outside registration is nothing but like someone gets a call, our call center gets a call. He doesn't have a patient doesn't have a file number. We will make a temporary file number for the patient and give him an appointment. When he comes to the reception on the day of his appointment, we first things first he should do is complete his registration, create a permanent MRN number, and then go to see the doctor. That's how it works. In case of emergency, they have to create a file number from scratch. There is no temporary business over here. There's a permanent file number created for the person, and it's utilized. God forbid if the person doesn't know his information and things like that, then they will sort of and there's a duplicate MR number created. They have an option to merge the file numbers also. That is also sorted out. Now, let's talk about registration first, and start with a simple journey. A patient comes to the reception, and let's say he wants to start getting registered himself. So I'm going to register myself. Osama. So notice that I'm only filling the pink part. Why is that? Because these pink fields are the mandatory fields in the application. They are configurable. So if you ask me that, Osama, can you configure this and you can move this, I can do that. Sorry, hold on. Sorry. The ping fields are configurable. I can change it. So if you want, tell me that somehow remove middle name to be mandatory. Yes, I can do that. Add a last name to become mandatory. Yes, we can do that. Those kind of stuff are there already in the system. Gender, I'm going to select male over here. This two boxes over here after the date of birth. I can select the date of birth here, and I can sort of mention the same thing over there. So, for example, if I write, if I say 1/1/19, or let's say if I write this, if I write 29 years of old age, it will by default give me the date of birth for this thing, and then you can alter. Many times it becomes difficult for you to search a previous date, and also that this is a little faster when it comes to that. Okay. And you can do things according. This is the Hijri, this is the conversion also. So if I change the Hijri date, or automatically this thing also gets changed. So for example, if I do this, then accordingly the date changes over there as well. Nationality, for example, if I'm doing Icelandic, okay, whatever it is. I can select the home address over here. I click on this button and I can make, again, these fields also mandatory. It looks like it's not mandatory over here right now, but you can always do that. You can make these fields also mandatory to capture data of the patient. Notice that there is an ICAMA holder that has automatically come as an identification document. There's some smartness to the system where it sees that if it's not Saudi, then he has an ICAMA. If it's a Saudi, then he has a national ID, a Hafiza. So that's the difference that they have sort of automatically kept in place. Anyways, the ICAMA now comes up and it says that the number should start with 2 and it has to be 10 digits. So I can't start an ICAMA with 1. So that masking is there already, and I've sort of incorporated that within the system. What you have to do is just fill up this value now, and it's mandatory, so you can't skip that. So all we have to do is fill up this information now, for example, like this, and it has to be 10 digits. If I do anything less than that, then it's going to give an error for me. Okay. I'll add that document of mine saying that the KCAMA is in place. I can also do that with other things, like, for example, if the patient also gives me his passport, I can do that. I can fill up his passport information also, right? And added. I can also do that for his employee number. So, for example, this guy is the DMFH employee. So I'll take the DMFH employee number and put the value of the DMFH employee number over here and add it. How is this useful? You'll tell me. Okay, invalid document. That's not. How is this useful? You tell me. Is because this way I can identify how many of my employees are registered. All I have to do is search that how many people have been registered with a value of DMFH employee. If it is there, that means these are the number of people who have been registered as a employee over here. This is the good part of it. The bad part of it is exploitation. If there is no validation of ID card or something like that that is there, ideally, if I'm putting the DMFH employee, it should ask me for a scan. That is important. There is an option to scan information over here. So issue place this thing validation, and there should be an option to scan the ID or something like that over here. You can attach a file either by clicking on the browser and then going to your folder and attaching a PDF file or image or whatever, or you can just click on the scanning button. And if you have a scanner installed, select the device that you have and click on scan and scan the card. We do this usually for the insurance cards. Early on, we used to do that, and or for ICAMA and all this information. But now with the changing times, there's no physical insurance card required per se. By eligibility check, you'll get everything that you want, and plus even for the ICAMA information, if you have Yakin integration, then you can authenticate the information automatically and even grasp it back into the application. It's not something that YASASSII has as of now, but that's something that we should push them to get so that registration is more clear, more better, because you will find a lot of people who are registering account numbers wrong, passport numbers wrong, mobile numbers can be 05000000. What you gonna do? There's nothing that you can't avoid. You can't make sure that every reception is doing this or not. There has to be a human check, of course, to find out whether they are registering it properly, yes or no. But then again, this goes into a limbo, so that's something else also. You can have an option of a prefix code if you want. For example, in Saudi, we can keep it as 05 as prefix because all numbers start with 05, or we can keep it as +9665, something like that. Whatever you want, you can do that. If it makes the numbers more, the database more ideal, then yes, definitely you can add this prefix. They haven't done it, but if you want, we can sort of do it. Notice that there's an automatic Arabic translation of the name. You can see that Usama has been automatically translated. I do not know how to write Arabic, so but still it got translated automatically because we have kept a dictionary and we have mentioned that Osama equals to this Osama in Arabic, and then so on, so on. But if there is a unique name per se that if I put Gregory, then of course there is no translation in Arabic for the name Gregory per se. So it's not going to work. Same thing has happened with Bashir. Apparently, Bashir is not there in translated, so it doesn't work. That's one thing that is there. Apart from that one, the other things again, like I said, you can make as many things mandatory as you want. It's pretty much everything that you have to do for the registration part. Imagine that this registration is like a 4-page form, right? So we have finished one page. There are 4 more pages that are there left. I'm going to go to the next page by clicking on this tab and it will expand. See there? Now, additional information is for the person who's accompanying. Okay. Sorry?
Excuse me, I have a question, please.
Yes, please.
Regarding the ID number, can you make it limited to 10 digits to certain number of digits?
Yeah, that's what I showed you. For the Ikama,
Yeah.
I'll remove this completely. Actually. So you see, even if
Okay.
even if I remove everything, sorry. Even if I remove everything, I can't remove the 2. I can't remove 2, and it has to be 10 digits.
So it will not be saved if it's less than 10.
Nope, it won't let me save. So for example, let me try doing that. Okay. So if I do this and add invalid document value.
Okay, thank you.
So it has to, yeah, most of them. So it has to have those values and then only it can enter. You can do the same thing with the scanning part also. If you want the scan to be mandatory, then definitely you can add that validation also, and we can make the scanning mandatory. This can be requirements. The reason I'm giving you all these possibilities that are there, the insights over there, being the operator for DMFH, for example, for RCM, we can give them a certain the requirement saying that your HIS should have XXXXX, all this information points. If they deliver this, then it makes it easy for our operations and things like that. So that's the whole idea of giving you all this information. Now it depends on you and what all ideas you have that you want to think that you can add value to. Then you can sort of think about it. If you have any recommendation, something, and you want to brainstorm with me, I'm always available. So feel free. Okay, so we were on the second page. Sorry.
One more thing regarding the privilege. Anyone can change from Saudi to non-Saudi.
Yes.
After we create permanent file.
No one can change. There are certain privileges allowed. Mobile number and name and other things. They cannot be changed. Everything has a privilege for them. Not almost everything, but at least nationality, name, and mobile number. These 3 fields have privileges. You can't change these things unless you have the privilege. Reason being is because if you make it Saudi, the VAT rules change accordingly. Yeah. So yes, it has happened. It has happened many times that people have changed VAT rules, and then later either we have lapsed or we have given extra. So one of the 2 things have happened, and you are spot on and exactly right about that.
Okay, thank you. So we need type. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there is a privilege, but we need to make sure that the privileges has been given to the right people, yes or no. If you want, later on we can connect and we can do one small study because I know the privilege name. I can see which are the people who have this privilege. We will do the identification and we can give a report to the DMFH management that so many people have this access. It's not good. It should be with only certain people. Just an example.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Most welcome. Additional information. This is about a next of kin that is coming with you. So, for example, if I'm going with a friend of mine, so I'll write down my friend's information. For example, I'm writing my health information over here. So I'll select gender. I'll put the relation as this thing. That is my brother. Same as this thing, and the mobile number automatically gets captured because it's the same patient address, right? So the same mobile number is then captured, and I can always change that if I have to, because many of the people say that yeah, the same mobile number.